Hello, Miss Hamilton. You can come on in and go ahead and sign the sheet here showing your schedule time. And go ahead and put your schedule time, your student's name, and then also your name showing that you came. And I'm not sure why today, but for some reason we did not have anyone else decide to show up. So what I was doing was getting ready for you and show you some information of what Jessica's done. And here's her personalized envelope. We keep a portfolio in here with her name, so no one else gets any access to it. They only go to their folders. And if they tried to open up somebody else's, they would be penalized. There'd be consequences for doing so. So we keep that private. They don't have any access to except their own. And what we have here is, for example, we started out with a review at the beginning of the year, like we always do, showing the simple rules of fractions. And the first thing that they had for last year was this matter of reducing and simplifying. And when Jessica heard it was something she'd already been introduced to, she was eager to go for it. And so she had no problem, had a perfect paper. As you see here, she had no problem whatsoever. And then on some of these fractions here, when we're going through and teaching how to find the least common denominator, when there's varying fraction denominators, she had no problem as long as the original equation had small numbers. And as you see here, she did fine. She had no errors whatsoever. However, as the numbers began to increase on the denominator, she started getting real hesitant. The smaller ones she took to immediately, as you see, any of them that were small in number, where she could easily find the least common denominator without having to go up the multiplication table, she hurried up and got those and then decided to sit there. And she just and stare off during a timed amount that we allowed for these sheets to be performed. And so she didn't want to even go to it. You could even nudge her, tap her. She just shook her head. She didn't want to do it. She seemed very hesitant. And again, we continued more in going in both routes, adding and subtracting. And on this one here, where we started introducing whole numbers with fractions, we have mixed numerical values. You have a whole and a fraction. Like, for example, this one here, the first one that she didn't want to do was 10 and 10 elevenths plus 7 elevenths. When you have the whole number 10 and then also the fraction, she didn't want to do it. Any of these down here where you had simple fractions, there was not any whole numbers in front of it, she quickly added it, but she did not want to convert it and simplify it further. Like this problem down here. You have 2 tenths plus 9 tenths equals 11 tenths. She left it there and didn't want to convert it over to a mixed number where it'd be 1 and 1/10. She didn't want to do that. And also here on the subtracting, the same thing. Anytime there was whole numbers and part fraction, minus a fraction, she avoided them. If it was simple ones, like 3 elevenths minus 2 elevenths, she quickly got those done, but avoided the others. And again, as you see here, we started going higher on the denominator, and there again, she avoided trying to figure out what that least common denominator was going to be. She got the others done quickly, and left the others left undone. She didn't even try and figure it out. There's no listing of trying to figure out that least common denominator front or back. And the same on adding. She again avoided, and you see there's 9 of them she missed on that. And one that she totally avoided was here on this concerning her word problems. And everybody received this graphic organizer showing the wording needed to add and subtract on stated problems, as you see here. And they had the given amounts, sandwiches everybody had left from their lunch when they got to lunch, because some of them ate it on the way. And then you ask questions here. She didn't even want to try. She just sat there, glazed look, staring off, or she would act like she was trying to write, but she wasn't doing anything. As you see, there's no answers. Not even a simple trying of it where she might have been partially right. She totally avoided it. And so what I was wanting to do was to find out some background of your family. And in your family, has there been any difficulties in certain subjects? Sometimes? Okay. And when she's at home, is she having any problem keeping attention? Does she have a hesitancy when she has something new presented to her that she just stares off and doesn't want to look at you? She does several times? Okay. Is there certain items that she likes and dislikes that we could possibly use on a computer program to keep her attention on it where she can focus? So she likes to go ahead and watch certain cartoon characters. Okay, because they've got some programs here that use different characters like Sesame Street, and it's an educational format using those characters from Sesame Street. And what we could do is look into programs at the Grand Central Station, a computer room where people get needed assistance where they're struggling on certain subjects, as Jessica's doing here on the math fractions when it gets higher. And we could look into having that. And on this program, it has visuals where she could see an example of a pie chart showing what fraction is represented. It'll be listed below it. And then it will show the areas. It will be colored what that fraction is representing. And then she can see the adding and subtracting, what it's going to do and what it results in, and it'll have that same figure, and it will show the ending result and then the fraction numerical value below it. And so we could do that, and if she wanted to need more visual than instructional by verbal communication, she needs more visual. Are you oftentimes having to assist her at home when you give her a command to do something and help you out? And you have to show her how to do it before she begins? Yes, okay. And so what we can do is look into getting a specialized computer program and see if we have it already available in our computers and see what kind of computer programs they have where what they do is they will give them questions and then they'll ask them to try and figure it out. And if for any reason she fails to give the right answer, she gives the wrong one, what it will do is it will say, please try again. And then when she gets it right, it will reward her and say, you did it right. You're a genius. And see if we can't get her to concentrate more on that. Has there been any problem when she's watching something at home, a special program she likes? Does she keep her eyes focused on it, or does she start drifting off and looking around and wondering, what am I going to do now? Or does she keep focused? Okay, she keeps focused. So it's just a matter of using items that she enjoys to keep her attention. Okay. And what I would like for you to do as part of this is to agree that you did come to the meeting and we was going through trying to find out some more information about her. And if you would sign this right here, it's parent's signature. Okay, and what I will do is, as you're signing this here, I'm going to send you back a notice and a copy of this here, along with the thank you letter for coming to the meeting. And then I'm also going to ask to make sure that when you receive this, you call back the school office at the main administrative building number and let them know that you received it, or you can send me by email, as you'll see in the thank you letter. I'll have the email address. You can send it to the school office, and then later on I can go back and double check and see that you received it. And that way I know that you was able to find out what we're going to do to work together to help further your daughter's education in this matter, especially in this area of math. All other areas she's doing fine in. From what I've seen on her folders, she's doing fine in the others, but this is the area she's struggling in. And so we want to get that improved. And I appreciate you coming and being able to help assist me in helping further your child's education, and we thank you for coming. And if you want to take some more of these items with you, you're more than welcome, and we thank you. You have a good day. And what I would do is send back a thank you card or letter, and then also a copy of the signed form to them, letting them know that they had done this and agreed to help assist us in finding out the problems that the daughter is having. And then also, for those who failed to show up, what I would do is I would contact them by their email address if posted in the information in the school office, if they have one. If not, contact them by phone, either at their work number during break or at the home, and ask for them to see when would be a good time we could have a parent-teacher conference, if it's even individualized one-on-one, so that we can go through and find out what we can do to help the students excel in the subject of math. And then I will give them a couple of weeks to see if there's been any response, if they've sent back. If not, then if I see that they failed to acknowledge that they received the form, I'll call them back and ask them to respond, let me know if you've received it or not, and if not, resend the form. And then periodically during the next 6 weeks, check back with the parents and let them know the progress the student's making, and tell them if they need any questions answered to call us at the school office during school hours, and then I would receive the message and contact them later. Thank you.